Hi, welcome to PK Blue TV. I'm here with my sisters Sarah, Christina, and Stephanie, and we're just going to discuss some topics with you guys today. We hope you guys tune in and just hang out with us today.
Our first topic is we're going to talk about Lala and Carmelo Anthony. They've been married since July of 2010. That's a long time. So that's almost 10 years.
Right.
They split in April 2017. And allegedly, while they were on this split, Carmelo seemed to allegedly have a baby with another woman. I mean, what would you guys, like, how do you guys feel about, like, side babies? Like, if it was you and, like, she's saying she doesn't want to see the baby, she wants to have nothing to do with the baby. How would you guys handle that? See, me, I would just be like, if I'm not going to take the baby, I'm not going to take you.
The man.
You know, that's my whole take on it. What do you guys think?
My opinion is I would definitely not take the baby if I wasn't going to take him.
Take the man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but would you take the side man, the baby? Would you keep him?
If I wanted to reconcile with my man, I would have to take the baby because the baby's a part of him. So if she's not willing to take her, the baby, then she's not willing to take her man back. They come as a package.
Right.
They were separated at the time, and he was doing what he wanted to do, and I'm sure she did some things too. So
right. Yeah. But would I work it out if there was a cheatation going on? I would, but once a baby gets involved,
That's a whole nother
it's
level.
a whole nother level
It's
because
hard.
it's like you can like hide cheating, right?
Right.
But you can't once the baby comes, it's like everybody knows you've been cheating.
My question is, how are you going to be with that man and avoid his child?
Exactly.
You can't.
You
Exactly.
can't.
You can't do that.
If you want, why would you respect a man that's avoiding his child in the first place?
Right.
Exactly.
Why would you get back with him if he didn't want anything to do with his child? You want to keep that separate. What if he ends up back with his baby mom?
Right.
Right.
You're opening all those possibilities up, not accepting that child. So that's my take. I feel like it comes down to, respect. Some women don't have the same respect for men as some women do. I found that out. So it depends on that person, your personal relationship with yourself and how you respect that man. So I don't know. I feel like, if you're going to respect a real man, you would respect that he's in that child's life. He's man enough to bring that baby around you.
Exactly.
But what if it was you that had the baby? You're pregnant and you come back home to your husband and you have the baby. Now, how is men will kick you to the curb.
It's a double standard. It is a double standard. But I just watched this movie on Lifetime 2 weeks ago. It's called Tempting Fate.
Yes, I watched that too.
And it was the woman in that situation where
Yes.
she stepped out of the marriage. She had the baby, and it took her husband a year to walk through that and to forgive her, but he ended up taking her back.
He ended up taking her back.
He ended up taking her
And that doesn't happen though
Yes.
with men though. That doesn't happen though with men because if you're pregnant by another, women are more forgiving.
We are.
We're more
we
forgiving.
It's a
like,
double standard.
Yeah, we'll take the baby and we'll take him, but not too many men will take the woman and the baby.
They were on a break, so technically he wasn't cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like
He was married, honey.
But if they're on a break, if you're both saying, "Look, we're taking a break," it takes a lot to get a divorce. You're not just going to instantly get a divorce. Like, you know what I'm saying? So was he really technically cheating if they're both agreeing to like this separation?
Yes, I think
You think you're still cheating?
Yes, I think
Okay.
that's still cheating,
Okay.
and I think that whether you're on a break or not, because people take breaks all the time. Whether you're married or not, people take breaks. But I think when you're married, you're married.
Yeah.
Now if you file for divorce and it's taken a while to get the divorce final, that's different.
Okay.
But there was no divorce filed.
I mean, but were they separated? We didn't know.
Was
we
there
don't
legal
know.
separation?
No.
Were they
No legal
living in
separation.
separate homes?
Yeah.
Were they?
We don't know their
all rich
situation.
people live separate. I mean, they live.
we
They
don't
have
know
a
what's
house
true.
in Dunkirk, and then they have a
Yeah.
house in Beaver Creek. So I mean, all rich people live separate, but it's all about holding true to your vows when you said your vows before the Lord. You can't just we're on a break, anything goes. No, I mean, if my husband and I took a break right now and he went out and slept with somebody and he came back and he told me,
it would be a done deal.
He'd be 6 feet under.
It would be a done deal.
Well, I mean, people are human though. People are human. They have feelings and emotions. And when you're separating is so hard to do.
It is.
And breaking up is so hard to do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like when you're going through a bad breakup, and whether you're married or not, it hurts. And I know when I was in a relationship, very young, but I had my first 2 kids with my first husband. People don't know that. And, you know, we were young, but we were in love. I would say that he was my first love. But, you know, the breakup, I know I was young, but it didn't matter. It still hurt. You know, it still hurt. And it was hard to get over that breakup, especially when you have kids.
Yeah.
You know, when you have kids, it just makes it 100 times worse. So I think I was depressed for a good 30 years. No, I was depressed for a long time. I mean, it took me years to, you know, woman up and get out of that. It was hard. It took a long time. But I couldn't meet the man that I wanted to meet until I went through that. Until I got over that. Right. You know, because going into a relationship with that hurt and that baggage and all that pain would have just wrecked my new relationship. So how hard was it for you, Christina, too? Because I know I went through mine first, and then I had to watch you go through yours. So how hard was it? Like, what would you tell women now that are struggling with, you know, going through divorce? And
well, sometimes a breakup can save you.
Yes.
And sometimes it's not. You know, everybody has their own situation. Everybody has their own story to tell, their own testimony. But for me, my breakup, I got a divorce. I was married for 10 years. I got a divorce, and it actually saved my life. And my kids were on board for it. But the only thing is, you know, when you're going through a breakup like that with somebody you've been with for so long, it affects the kids if the other person doesn't step in as a parent. So when you're trying to juggle and be both mom and dad, it affects the kids tremendously.
Yeah.
So
because it affects them anyway.
Exactly, it affects them anyway. And then when the other parent doesn't step up and be a parent, it's even worse. So I think that was probably the most traumatic thing, the effect that it had on my kids. But for me, you know, it saved my life.
Was he abusive? What do you mean? Like,
he was physically abusive, verbally abusive. He was an alcoholic. For years, in and out of jail, DUIs, I mean, the whole thing. I mean, it's just, I mean, I could talk about it all day.
Yeah.
But for me, it saved my life. You know, if you're in a situation like that, I do not recommend you staying in a bad situation where it's detrimental, I'm sorry, to your health and to your kids. So, you know, that's sort of my situation. You know, it was a celebration.
Yeah.
My divorce was a celebration for me. So, you know, I was a much happier person, and God bless me.
he did.
Tremendously.
Yeah, he did.
You know, after I made that move, after I made that step of faith. So,
like, it's like the day that you were like, you know, what do I do? Like, should I get out of this? It's like you made that prayer, and you made that like acclamation, like, okay, this is really what I'm going to do. I'm done thinking about and talking about it. It was just like God created that like path,
open door,
and
yes,
just like you walked right through it, and it was just like He gave you every strength, every, you know.
Yeah. He provided everything in that open door that I needed to move forward and get out of that situation.
I mean, it was difficult, but it took me a long time to come out of that. I was out of the relationship, but I wasn't out of the pain of the relationship, you know. So I just think you can get out of the relationship, but you're still stuck with that, you know, death of the relationship.
Right.
So it was really, really difficult to get over.
Yeah. That wasn't just a breakup. That was a divorce.
Yeah.
Divorce is like death.
Yeah.
Almost.
Divorce was like,
whether you really love the person or not, especially if you have children together. I mean, it's just like a death of a person.
And that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what it felt like. It felt like a death.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you have your kids, you know, and then they don't understand. They're just babies and they're innocent and they don't get it. And, you know, it damages, it leaves
it
like...
it affects the children.
It affects every aspect of your life.
Yeah, it affects the children. It really does.
I know personally because I had to watch you go through it.
Yes, Jessica was there.
Oh my.
I mean, all my sisters were there for me. We've been there for each other through everything, every breakup,
right.
every guy we met, every struggle. And so, you know, we've been there for each other. But Jessica was like, I'm 10 years older than her. So my kids were really young, but she was almost like second mom to them
to her
because
kids, yeah.
I was just going through this whole like, I guess like depressed mode where I just really wasn't there.
Yeah.
And she had to like pick up where me and him left off. And my parents were there for me too.
Right.
If I didn't have you guys and my parents, I don't think I would have came out
Right.
the boss bitch that I am. Bleep. So ladies, if you're in a situation and it's unhealthy, I say, you know, make your plan of attack and not attack him, but attack the situation. You know, do your best to get out of it and, you know, make that acclamation with God and he will open up the door because he did it for us.
All of us.
Yeah.
And ladies, stop chasing a man that's not worth it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a whole nother topic.
And don't let a man have
Next
to tell
topic.
you twice if he does not want you.
Next
You know what I'm
topic,
saying?
please.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know what? I've never
Yeah.
done that. I've never like went after a guy after I saw the signs of a man that I didn't like. I knew that it wasn't what I wanted. I just kind of like I didn't waste my time.
Right.
I just didn't waste my time. Because I've met, I mean, you know, we're all some short. No, I mean, but we've all dated and stuff, and I just didn't waste my time on guys that, you know, if you're gonna say you're gonna do something, do it. If you're gonna text me, text me. And, you know, keep your word. Don't
Keep
always
your
just
word.
WYD me what you're doing. I mean, I wanted a man to show me. It's not about what he was saying.
Yeah.
Right.
He showed me what he was about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think I just didn't play around with that. I didn't waste my time on men where I saw the red flags. I was just, you be over there,
Yep.
I'll be over here.
Door closed.
And that's seriously, but that's what led me to the husband that I have now. I mean, he's just a good guy, but I mean,
He is.
He really is.
If he had shown me, because I think there's yellow flags with everybody, right?
Yeah, there's warning signs.
There's warning signs with
Yeah.
everybody, and nobody's perfect, but I think you know. I think a yellow flag is different than a red. A red is like stop, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yellow's like slow down, think about it. Maybe we can work through it, you know. And there were some there, but
Yeah.
you know, I can get over yellow.
So Stephanie, what advice would you give to someone that is in that situation right now? You know, they weren't maybe born with that strength, or maybe went through what you have, you know, to
Right.
say, I see those yellow flags, I see those red flags. What advice would you give a woman in now, or, you know, that may be in that situation in the future? What advice can you give them? Where did you pull that from? Where did you pull that strength?
I honestly think that women don't spend enough time working on themselves.
Yeah.
That's
They
right.
don't value,
Right.
and if you don't know yourself, you don't know how to value yourself.
Exactly.
So I think women don't spend enough time valuing who they are.
Right.
And
Right.
you have to get to know who you are to value it. I think women just jump into stuff so quickly, and the
Yeah.
man makes them feel so good, so fast, and you don't even really know yourself. You
Right.
have to spend time on getting to know
Know
yourself.
yourself.
Without no man.
Without no man. Right.
No
Yeah.
man.
No
Hate
man in the
yourself.
picture.
Right.
Leave these men alone,
Leave them alone.
and focus on you. Get your business
Right.
together. Get your credit together. Get yourself together. If you want to tone up, lose 10
Right.
pounds, or you know, get your facials, get your
Take care of yourself.
Read
Spoil
you preaching
yourself.
now, girl.
Right.
Preach.
Spoil yourself. You know, take
I mean,
care
but
of yourself.
learn to love yourself,
Yeah.
and you won't put up with stuff like that.
Right.
Do those things. for
Women that
yourself.
put up with stuff like that
Right.
really don't love themselves.
themselves.
And
Yeah,
a lot
they
of it's
don't.
not their fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Because maybe their dad wasn't there to say, baby, I love you, you're
Right,
beautiful,
you're
You're better
beautiful."
than that.
Right.
But I'm going to
You're
say
worth
this, you can't blame some point in your life you can't
You
blame
can't
your dad.
blame your dad. Right.
Yeah.
You have to
can't.
you have to
You
take
have to be accountable.
right. You have to take accountability and
Yes.
responsibility for yourself,
Exactly.
and say, I'm gonna give myself what I didn't get from them.
Right.
And you got to tell yourself, I love myself.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm beautiful. If don't nobody else tell me,
Exactly.
Yes.
I value me. I'm strong. Just make proclamations every day about you.
Yeah.
Right.
Pour
Right.
into you.
Yeah, words have power.
They
Yeah,
do.
Yeah, they
They
do.
do.
They do. So yeah, we'll be back after these messages. You guys tell us what you think about women and breakups and divorces.
We want your feedback,
We
guys.
want your feedback.
Give it to
Yes.
us.
We'll be back after these messages, guys. We'll be right back.